This video is brought to you by the lovely sponsors below. Thank you so much for your support.
So you see, these little outsiders should really just be squashed in the bud before they become a bigger problem.
Is that so? I believe you are forgetting that both you and Akuta are outsiders in my domain. Do not think me naive. I know your struggles are not for my empire. My lands are but the stage for your petty plays. Perhaps it is time to reevaluate your use.
We've both served you and worked to save the Empire from your crisis with Chaldea. Is that not true, Akuta?
Crisis with Chaldea, you say? As they stumble around a minor village. Is this an invasion? Am I to believe them a threat? Or is this not your way of setting my empire against your own enemies?
To one such as you, their strength would never be a threat. But the true crisis is the threat of the other lands outside the Empire. Outside of your reach.
Then it should be clear what my next steps must be to secure a way outside the Empire itself.
You want the Shadow Border.
It is only logical. Rather than being a mere ally of convenience like you, Carriage Sky, Chaldea has a chip worth bargaining for.
It's Koyanskaya!
Consider it a courtesy, Vixen, that you will not be around long enough for me to take you seriously.
You can't do this to me! You can't!
Now that is one pest taken care of. There is another whose lack of loyalty is getting in the way of my plans. Akuta?
What I have done only for you.
Did you think me ignorant of the tree growing against the will of the heavens? It was no matter to me when you were running around chasing after my commander like a lovesick puppy, but then you had to get in the way, didn't you? When you fought with those gurus of yours, you tried to destroy the Shadow Border. You tried to erase every part of them from my lands, and as we have clearly explained, that will not do.
If that is your will, it will be done. I would never have stood in your path.
Ever submissive, aren't you? I could kill you right now and you wouldn't even try to stop me. No, if I want you to understand, there is only one action I can take. Quasi-Zero, come forth.
Your Majesty.
Remove the gold elixir from your chest and crush it.
Stop it, please. Whatever you do, anything but that. If I have overstepped, that is a price that I will pay personally. I would do anything. So please spare his life.
Such attachment to a machine. Do not forget your place, Akuta. Rebellion is not permitted in my world. I will carve a fear far greater than death within your heart.
Your mercy is most generous. Shangyu, I will never let them take you from me again. I swear it.
You have called me that many times. But I am Kawaji-Zero, automaton commander of the Land of King. Was I really such a man in your world?
It must be hard to believe. It was so long ago, even in the proper human history. But when I see you now, I can picture no one else. A commander like Lord Shangyu would naturally live on forever in the Throne of Heroes. So to see you now is to see him reborn before my eyes.
It sounds ridiculous, to have been a mortal walking the earth.
The earth was never large enough for you, even then.
I do not need someone like you to defend me. My life is for my Emperor, as it was through him that I am here.
All I ask is to be by your side. Need it or not, I will always be there as a sword in your hand.
And I your shield, my lord. You do not need to remember us. Our loyalty is not so fragile.
If you will follow, then follow the Emperor.
We will follow you, wherever that means.
To one life or the next, our path remains the same.
Chaldea, I will have your attention.
What the blazes?
Tracking the transmission.
I believe we can make an equitable trade.
Oh, interesting. Okay then.
What exactly have you come to bargain with, Your Highness?
We have that coin papaya you have been seeking, and are prepared to turn her over to your custody.
What? Koyanskaya is here? That explains the mobs from Russia.
In return, I will analyze and take control of that contraption as long as I see fit. Should you agree, you may consider yourselves guests of my realm and under my protection.
Can you give us just a moment here? Psst, Leonie, how is the tracking going?
This grows tedious. There is no need to track me, for you have been gazing toward me since you have arrived.
Actually, I think he's right. These readings are coming from the palace. It's strange.
So we'll bring our answer to the palace to meet you then.
I don't mean inside the palace. It's almost like it's coming from the palace itself.
And tread upon my halls. I suppose then you may understand the grandeur. My patience will not last forever. Make your choice swiftly, or I will not be so generous.
That won't be your problem. We'll be getting in touch with you really soon, Your Highness.
So, we're going to say no, right?
Obviously. After we saw how useful Scotty was, it might be nice to have a Lost Belt King on our side. But there's no way we're giving up the Shadow Border indefinitely.
Have you forgotten why we came here in the first place? If we can secure Koyanskaya now to get the antidote, then both Ryusuke and myself will be out of danger. That should be our priority!
And then what? We get the cure, and we strand ourselves in rural China. Meanwhile, our only way out is being torn apart.
It's Koyanskaya. Yes, we need the antidote, and getting to her is the easiest way to do it. And I have a long overdue conversation waiting to happen with her.
Likewise. But let's back up for now. There's a few advantages here either way, so let's break this down properly, alright? Would you kindly start us off, Leonie?
He wants the Shadow Border. As amazing as this technology is, I doubt someone who keeps his kingdom uneducated would care about the artistic and theoretical merits of our research. We've seen it before in Russia, where Kadok and Anastasia had to take out Ivan the Terrible. We have to consider that they're working on opposite sides here.
So, he would want it for its primary purpose. He wants to leave this place, for some reason. That aside, if we were somehow able to leave ourselves, would we really want a dictator with the ability to explore other Lost Belts and expand? Nell, go.
Well, it's curious, isn't it? We believed that the trees in each Lost Belt are key to the expansion and claiming of territory for the Cryptors. But, for a Lost Belt King to be avoiding that answer, I have to wonder if he and Hinako had a falling out.
That's certainly a possibility, so we'll revisit that question later. Alright, go ahead, Dolphin. I can see you're about to explode.
Wait, are you talking to me?
Yeah, I thought it was pretty obvious since you're the only one getting red in the face from trying to get a word in. So, probably should get on with it before you start floating away.
Oh, shut it, you cheeky brat! Why the bloody hell are you calling me a dolphin?
Gordolf? Dolphin? Seriously? Connect the dots, Dolphy. See, I would have called you a whale, but you're out of cash and Saint Quartz. Anyways, hurry up. Clock's ticking, world's in danger, the fate of all pan-human history is riding on our shoulders, no pressure or anything.
Ugh, fine. I say, we should make the choice that saves us from the immediate threat in front of us. We can always retrieve the Shadow Border once we get what we want.
The director is right. We can deal with the consequences later.
It's my property.
It's Chaldea's property. And as my employee, I would consider this as part of your job, Professor.
Look, if you two don't give it a rest and focus on the task at hand, I will drag you both to the top of the Shadow Border and kick you off of it. Am I clear? Excellent. You both did the smart thing. Alright then. So, if we're just going to take back the Shadow Border later, then that works for both arguments. But now that we know that Koyanskaya is at the palace, we could just as easily go after her and not give up the Shadow Border.
He may want an answer right away, but I think we need more information here before we can make a decision.
I completely agree, but sadly, time is not in our favor right now. So, I think we all know what decision we have to make.
Yes. we do.